Hello, this is Daniel Mart, and this time around I'm going to be doing another movie review. This one's going to be for Iron Man 2. So for those who don't know, I'm basically going to be reviewing every single Marvel Cinematic Universe um, movie review. I'm going to be doing a review for every single MCU movie, leading up to Captain America's Civil War. And really, it's mostly going to be the movies I haven't done a review for because I've done apparently a bunch of them. So I did Incredible Hulk early last month. So now this month I'm going to be doing Iron Man 2 and possibly Thor as well. During April I'm going to be doing Captain America: The First Avenger, and in May I'm going to be doing Iron Man 3. And that would be it for every single Marvel Cinematic Universe movie review I would be needing left. I have left, if you know what I mean. Because I've already done a review for Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers, Age of Ultron, Iron Man. Actually, I haven't done any of the Iron Mans, so that's why I'm doing this. So now I did a review for Iron Man 1, the first one, as well as, let's see, Captain America, Guardians. Let's see the movie Thor and Thor 2. I did a review for Thor: The Dark World as well. So now I'm just doing all the other reviews I need to do for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I already did the Incredible Hulk. Now Iron Man 2. Yeah, and this movie stars Robert Downey Jr. Yeah, it stars Robert Downey Jr., Gwyneth Paltrow, Don Cheadle. Yeah, and Don Cheadle. He replaces Terrence Howard as Rhodey this movie, so that's interesting. Scarlett Johansson, Sam Rockwell, Mickey Rourke, Samuel L. Jackson or Sam Jackson, Clark Gregg, John Slattery, and Kate Mara in a really early role, and John Favreau. So yeah, before I begin the review, 10-second spoiler warning as usual. For those who have yet to actually watch the movie and haven't already, stop the video, go check it out, and then come back here and watch the rest of this review. 10-second spoiler warning as usual, starting now. Okay, so 10 seconds are up. So for those who have yet to actually watch the movie and haven't already, please don't comment down below or be messaging me. That never gave you a fair warning because as usual, I did. So as usual, quick synopsis, likes and dislikes, and then the rates. So yeah, so basically for a synopsis for this, basically it kind of leads off after the first Iron Man movie. They kind of start off from the point where he says, "I am Iron Man," where Tony Stark says, "I am Iron Man," and more or less everybody already knows who Iron Man is. You know, Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. You have this one guy in Russia, I want to say. You have who's Whiplash, and you have Whiplash who basically sees him, or Ivan Vanko, who's technically Whiplash, whatever. He sees them and basically thinks that Tony Stark stole his idea or stole parts of his idea with the arc reactor and stuff like that, and he's trying to basically claim it back. So he teams up with this evil businessman, and he's basically trying to get his inventions back, or he's trying. Yeah, it's basically that he's trying to get back his inventions, and in doing so, he's also creating other inventions that are similar to the Iron Man armor for this for Sam Rockwell, who's like this businessman, yeah, guy, very generic villain to be honest. And yeah, you also have Scarlett Johansson's debut as Black Widow, and yeah, I mean Scarlett Johansson. What else do I have to say? Um, so yeah, so there was things I liked about this movie and things I didn't like. I'm gonna start off with the things I liked. Robert Downey Jr., charismatic. He does the Iron Man role, the Tony Stark paper role justice. He is Iron Man. He is Tony Stark. Okay. Samuel L. Jackson for like the few scenes he's in, pretty good. Scarlett Johansson, same thing for the few scenes she's in, she's pretty good as well. I mean, the acting all around the board, for the most part, is pretty good. And so is the action. I mean, you have the one action scene where they're in the NASCAR race or like the speed race. That was pretty good for the most part. I thought that was pretty good. And the last action set piece where they're with Rhodey and Iron Man, where it's War Machine and Iron Man basically shooting up all of I mean, I guess all of New York. So yeah, I mean with these other mechanized robots trying to kill them as well. So the action and the acting for the most part are well. I think the part that really fails with this movie is just the writing. The writing isn't really that interesting. I mean, like there are interesting moments, but it's like okay, it's like generic trope number one, generic trope number two, Cliches number 3, 4, and 5 come here. Okay, generic villain come in here. Okay, it's just it feels kind of generic. Like some of the characters just feel kind of generic. Some of the character motivations feel kind of generic. Generic. I mean, yeah. I mean, Whiplash. He kind of just seems like an add-on, which is funny because he is the main villain. I mean, yeah. I mean, the villains for sure are really generic in my opinion. Whiplash and then evil business guy. With I don't even remember what the businessman was called. Um, Sam Rockwell, Justin Hammer. So yeah. Um, I just looked it up. So they just kind of seem generic. I mean, uh, I mean, Whiplash seemed to have some kind of motivation, but at the end it was kind of like, oh, he kind of stole my idea, so that's why I hate him. So it seemed a little bit generic. Similar to the first one, oh, so we have similar ideas now. I want to kill you because your idea is slightly better than mine, or some shit like that, or because you kind of stole my invention. Similar to the first one, and I'm not saying that paying homage to the first one is a bad thing. I mean, that's acceptable. It's just when it's kind of obvious, it's just kind of stupid, I guess, or just kind of boring in my opinion. And again, I mean, you could make the argument that there's many movies who follow the same formula, which is true, but at least the majority of those movies have a good script. This script was lackluster, to say the least. It was, I mean, again, it's just filled with a bunch of cliches, and that's really it. I mean, you have some pretty good action. The acting, for the most part, is pretty well, but the writing's what really, really brings this movie down for me. So yeah, and so and yeah, I mean that's basically it for now. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, and 6 being decent, I'll give the movie a 6 out of 10. It's a decent movie. It's not the best Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. It's probably not the worst in my opinion. At least I don't think it's the worst. I don't know. I'd have to think as to which one's the worst, but this one would be in the bottom three for sure. Now, is it the worst? I'd have to think about that one. So yeah, it's overall it's just a 6 out of 10. Nothing special. It's just in kind of a generic story as a whole, in my opinion. So yeah, that's basically it for now. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, and comic book reviews. Comment down below your thoughts on the movie. Have you seen it? And if not, why not? And if you have, what are your thoughts on it? Comment on that down below. Let me know. Like the video, share on Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, or whatever you guys prefer. And that's basically it for now. This is Daniel Mart signing off.